scheduled for you today. Now, the day is going to start here at the Pioneer Saloon, but it's going to end in Sandy Valley for the Mojave Mayhem after party. If you've not seen what the lineup has scheduled for that, go to mojavemayhem.com and take a look. $25, you can buy a ticket right there on the website, or it's $35 at the door at the event. We're going to have live music, there's going to be burlesque dancers, and two cool things. We're going to announce tonight the winner of the raffle for Easy Pete's motorcycle, as well as the dates for next year's Fallout celebration. How about that info?
Woo!
Book it now, book it early, right? We have got live entertainment going to start up at 12 o'clock. They're going to go till 4, and then we're also going to have some more family food and trivia that's going to take place back at the Centennial Deck. But right now, I want to introduce a good friend of mine. He is the owner and creator of the Pip-boy. This is Mr. Chris Barnardo from the Wand Company. How about Chris?
Woo!
He's going to tell you all about this fantastic product, and he's also brought a little surprise for us. So if you're familiar with the character Lucy, anybody know who that is?
Yay!
All 4 of you, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a donated backpack that she has signed that's going to be given away. Oh, hell yeah! That's the energy we're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Old Man Liver to the Pioneer Saloon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Chris Barnardo.
Woo! Hello. I don't know how I can follow that kind of introduction. I'm here just for a few minutes to talk about the Pip-boy, how we developed it, and the sort of little journey that we've gone on. You all have got such lovely things that you've made and creations, so living up to that by developing an actual product that we can sell is a really tall order. But we try to do our best to make it as accurate as possible. It started a few years ago when we made the 76 Pip-boy kit, which you may or may not know. I see a lot of people wearing them. It's a great fun thing to do. Very high pressure, had about 9 months to make it from a starting point of learning about doing it, which was really hard. Normally products take about 2 years to develop, so crushing it down into 9 months was hard. But as a result of that, and it was successful, we were approached by Amazon about 2 years ago to go and read a script of a new show they were doing called Fallout. And I was really excited.
48 and 51.
Fallout.
Volt, is that Volt? 48?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we got this call to go. You can hear from my accent, maybe, I don't know, but I'm based in the UK, so it's always exciting to travel the world. We went to LA to Kilter Studios to read these scripts. We went into the studio, high sort of security, lockdown, leave your phones behind, sign various disclaimers and waivers and things, and then go into a room, a locked room. The scripts came in a locked case, and we read one script. We just had to read it. We couldn't do anything, take any notes or anything, and then the script was taken out, and the next script came in. We read 3 scripts. Now, I have never done this before. Normally, we run a small company in the UK making pop replicas for fans, and normally we're at the end of the process. We're getting the reference quite late on in the day, but to be that early on in the process was really, really exciting. And I knew straight away when I read the script that it was going to be massive. Now, in my company, I am the creative person, and I'm the accelerator, the gas pedal. And my business partner, we share the company together, he's the electronics expert, and he is the brakes. And when I say the brakes, he's got both feet on the stop pedal. So I rang him up straight away. I came out of the thing. I mean, I'm 8 hours adrift anyway, so for me it's the evening mentally. So I had to go and have a beer to sort of celebrate with the idea of reading the script. And I phoned him up and said, "It's amazing, it's going to be incredible." And all he said was, it might be failure, it might not be very good. I couldn't really show him any of the script because I hadn't taken any notes or anything like that. I just said, "Trust me, it's going to be cool." And then we started the development process. Then there's a kind of a fight. You have to get a license, you have to negotiate for a license, which costs money. You have to spend money to acquire the license to do it. And then there's a fight to get reference, because obviously they don't want anyone to know what they're doing. It's secret. There's 2 years before it's, or a year, actually it was about a year before it's due to release. So they've got some photographs, they've got some various bits and pieces. So our idea as a company is to make the most accurate, because we can. So we really want the drawings of it, we want photographs of it, we want to actually handle it. We made some Star Trek replicas, and we were very lucky to be able to go to LA again and scan the last remaining communicator from Star Trek, the last remaining phaser that was owned by this guy called Greg Jean, who sadly now passed away. But this is really rare moments. You'd think with a thing like Fallout, actually when you've seen it, there's hundreds of those Pip-boys, everyone's wearing them. You'd think there'd be loads for us to say, well, can we just borrow one for a weekend or something? We don't mind flying out to LA to get it. In the end, later on, we did get Lucy's Pip-boy, and there's a funny story there. We borrowed it to go to see Adam Savage and do Tested. And it was very, very cool. That's a bucket list thing, to go to Adam Savage and go into his cave and see all his staff and everything like that. Anyway, our license, the guy who gives us the license from Amazon, he's a youngish guy, very, very good, very bright guy. His name's Drew, and Drew went to the film studio to collect the Pip-boy. Now, the one that's made by the film studio is obviously very expensive to make. They made a few. They're sort of the hero props, and they're beautifully made. They're made by hand. They've got a phone inside them, and it only opens about this far. And when he got the first one, it's got some very strong magnets that hold it together. And he got it in his hand. He said, "What is it? Can I open it?" They said, "Yeah." So he went to open it. He went to pull it apart, and the magnets were holding it. And as he pulled it, the magnet let go, and it snapped in half. The whole thing broke. So he had the guy's one he was going to give us. There's two, by the way. There's a guy's one and a gal's one. The gal's one and the guy's one. The front part, all of this is exactly the same, but the inside cuff hole is smaller for the girl's one. And if you've ever, and I have actually met Lucy, Ella Pennell, and she is tiny, and her wrists are obviously very thin. So she has one that's got a smaller thing, and the one that we had, because he broke the guy's one, was Lucy's one. It was Ella's Pip-boy. So we had to take the computer designs.
We had to.
The male guy's ones. Yeah, even so, I'm wearing it on my sleeve here. I've got it on my sleeve. This one fits my arm. It's got a cuff inside it, which is polyurethane. It's soft. It's really nice. But if I was to wear it over a garment, I have to take the cuff out from inside it, which you can do. I've actually taken one of the cuffs out and I left one in. I'll show you a bit more about this in a minute. So anyway, that's the Adam Savage thing. On the way to that, some strange things happened to us. When we made the first samples, Amazon wanted to release them and show them at their South by Southwest activation event in Austin. So we agreed we would give them a sample of a vertibird that we were making and the Pip-boy. And we had one sample, and it was in China, in Hong Kong actually, and FedEx couldn't deliver it in time, so I had to fly to Hong Kong to collect it, fly back to the UK, and then fly to America with it. And I delivered it, and they put it in their stand, and I said, could I come to the VIP event later, and meet the people that are coming? And they said, no, they're all really famous people, you can't come to that. So I went back to my hotel room, and I sat there a bit Johnny No-Mate, and I was eating my supper, and I got a text saying, it's all gone a bit mad here, Elon Musk has turned up, and you would like one to be given to him, the one that you've got in your hotel room, could you come down? Yeah. So I said, let me think about that for about a second. Yeah, okay, obviously. So I ran down, and it was a massive event, probably something like this sort of scale. It was pretty cool. And they just stuck me in the corner, miles away from anyone important, and said, right, we broke the thing that you lent us. Can you just repair it a bit? And I said, well, I'd like to go over there. I can see Todd Howard over there, and I know him. So maybe you could go over and just say hello to him. Well, as it happened, the person I was with didn't know Todd Howard at all. And I've obviously worked on Fallout for quite a bit, so I've met Todd Howard a few times. And we went over, and Elon Musk was standing next to him, and I tapped Todd Howard on the shoulder, and he turned around and he embraced me like I was a long-lost sort of like cousin. And the Amazon guy was really put out. He said, perhaps you could introduce me, it'd be really nice if you could do that. And then Elon Musk was there, and it was pretty cool. Then I realised I was on my own, and it's 11 o'clock at night in the US. At home, everyone's asleep. I couldn't phone back anyone to tell them what had just happened. It's the most bizarre thing. I just went into a bar and I bought a beer, and I sat down next to a stranger, and I had to tell this stranger, I've just done this thing. It's really weird. Anyway, I'm digressing, obviously. In doing the Pip-boy, there is so many things when you make a prop replica that you have to do that's different when you make a prop. if you make a prop, it fits you, it can break and you can repair it, or maybe you do something which is a strange way of using it. When you make a prop replica for everyone to use and you have to sell them, and then people have to buy them and use them, and they have to use them every day, they do things to them that you weren't expecting, and they might not work properly, the software has to be really accurate, and so for the last 2 or 3 months we've been really working very hard to refine the software, and because of the urgency of making them, they've been being made whilst with a basic piece of software in them, and we've been doing refinements. So we developed pretty early on the ability for this to be upgraded. Anyone who's bought one or they've got one coming to them, when you get it on the first day, you'll open it and you will upgrade it. It's unbrickable. We have designed the software ourselves. I know there's been problems in the past with Pip-boy bricking. This will not brick. And we have thought of feature after feature after feature to add to it to make it really cool. The starting point was every single thing that we could think of that was in the show is on the Pip-boy. In the show, the Pip-boy is a model with an iPhone behind it, and obviously the animations that run are just dumb animations. They run them, it's a lot of movie magic, it looks like it's being used, but it's just running an animation. Of course, for a real product, you have to, let's turn it on. You have to have it, I don't know if anyone can see that there. It has to function, so this one's got a clock in it, it's got an alarm clock, it's got all the animations from the show, you can actually adjust them and you can animate them yourself by turning various knobs. And very cool, I'm just going to play you a little piece of music in a minute. One of the things we wanted was we wanted an alarm on it, because if it's got a clock on it, it'd be very cool to have that by your bedside and have it as an alarm clock. It has a very, very dim screen setting, so you can turn it right down so it can be good in the night. We looked around for licensed music and we couldn't really find anything that suited us. So I wrote some lyrics, and actually it's my son, who's a musician, wrote the tune, and then we recorded it and Amazon approved it. So with the first upgrade, you are going to get this alarm tune that's going on for the Pip-boy. I'm going to play it for you now, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the functions of what it does.
Do it in your alarm settings. Good enough. Oh, there you go.
It's a brand new day. The birds are singing in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Sky seems brighter. Have a look, you'll see. Open your eyes, I think you'll agree. The world's gone wild, but there'll be no more crowds. You gotta learn to live under those mushroom clouds. So clean your teeth, put a smile on that face. You survived the end of the human race. Throw up those covers, it's hot out there. No time for lovers in the poison air. The world's gone wild, but there'll be no more crowds. You gotta learn to live under those mushroom clouds.
There you go.
Time to get up, get out of bed. It's time for you to go to work. You gotta learn to live under those mushroom clouds. You gotta learn to give under those mushroom clouds. You gotta really learn to love those mushroom clouds.
I only wish that it was me singing that. It wasn't. But we so enjoyed writing it, and I was a bit nervous presenting it to Amazon because it's not in the show, but I was hoping maybe they might put it in season 2 somehow. I've talked to Bethesda and I've talked to a few other people, and we're probably releasing that as a single with another song that I was playing earlier that you heard. So that's been an amazing sort of treat to do something completely different. Often music is a really difficult thing, there's lots of licensing issues, so writing your own stuff is really cool. anyway, that was a real surprise that that came out of this project. I really enjoyed doing that. I'll just take this off. So you can see in here, I've just turned the radio on. It's got an FM radio in it, by the way. You can see here that this is the cuff. It's a polyurethane soft, what they call memory foam, slow release memory foam. I've taken the cuff out from here because with both cuffs in it wouldn't fit over my sleeve. So there's a kind of thing you can take both cuffs out easily and put them back in. It's I know in past Pip-boys the cuff has always been one of those troublesome things. So I wanted to make this really comfortable. The Pip-boy itself has got a metal front piece made in zinc, die-cast zinc. It's been hand weathered, so each one is different. Unbelievably, they're making something like 1,000 a day, and they're hand weathering them all. There's about 100 people on the line that make them. It's got hundreds of components that come from all over the world. The manufacturing is an amazing thing. You wouldn't believe it. Just in time manufacturing, you start the line working and things come in from all over different suppliers, about 30 different suppliers, and they all have to be blended together. And if there's any problems with any one of those components, it doesn't get made. The functions that it's got are the same as those that you see in Pip-boys that you see in the game, but also in the show. At the beginning you have your stats, then you have this rad meter. This is pretty cool. The rad meter isn't just an animation. We can't pick it up, but it's making the radiation noise. You can actually adjust the rad meter. So you can adjust it, whereas in the show it's just a dumb animation. It just plays and they show it getting more or less or whatever, but you can adjust it. It also has a mode where you can connect it to your computer and you can use the controls here to control your computer, move the cursor around and click on things, which is really cool. You've got this one, which I use most of the time, is a clock. It's got a couple of different modes that you can set it in. You can have it in military time or in regular, AM, PM time, and I think in different formats. It's got an alarm system, which is really nice. You can set each day for your alarm and use that song if you want it to wake you up. It's got a few other alarm. You can wake up to the radio. You can wake up to the sound of the klaxon of the raiders coming, or the sound of the chainsaw sawing the guy's head off, which we took off the video. Then you've got some maps. These aren't real maps, they're just maps from the show. There's all the different ones that you see on the show that Lucy uses while she's using the Pip-boy mostly. And then there's the FM radio, where you've got a regular FM radio, but you've also got all the tracks, the audio tracks from KPSS, the horrible violins, or the gorgeous violins, whichever way you look at it, and DJ Carl. And so there you are, that's basically the function. It comes with a lovely stand. The back here, you can see, this comes out, this is a USB-C, and that plugs into the back of the stand. The stand docks into this hole here, and it rests on it really nicely, so it's a very elegant stand. And it comes in more or less in-universe packaging. I think that's kind of the story. There's a lot of work went into making it. It's actually, we're air freighting in the first thousands of units for the first people that ordered, and the rest are following by sea, because air freighting was eye-wateringly expensive. And we hope everyone enjoys it, and the community builds. People send us feedback. We can do upgrades. We can think about it, in building the feedback into new upgrades that might come through, new content. We have much exciting content planned for it. There's other things we know it can do that we want it to do, and including maybe downloading your own audio files and your own text files and things like that, so you can personalize it even further. This particular one, you can personalize it with your name, and the name pops up in a few places, but we're working on different ways that you might be able to personalize it in the future. So we hope this will be a really lovely product that people will love and cherish and do things with. I guess that's about it. If anyone wants to ask any questions, please do.
Will it assign you to a vault?
It does assign you, yeah. Well, as in the show, there's only 2 vaults that are particular on this Pip-boy. It assigns you randomly to vault 32 or 33, depending on when you press the button. Different one each time, and there's only 2, obviously. But yeah, there'll be the chance of changing that. Yes, please. Shipping. Ship date. Well, I did say when we originally started November, it would be shipping in November. I will tell you that we have moved heaven and earth to do that. When you make a product, I can just say this much, you make it, it goes for regularity testing, and they zap it with thousands of volts to see if it breaks. You can't do that until it's finished, and when it does break, you then have to stop production or stop the beginning of production and re-engineer parts of the inside, and that adds time. So we struggled right up to the end to get it out. We've air freighted the first 20k units in at the cost of $250,000 to get them in time, and there's an embargo date for the 20th of November. But the retailers have them by then, so I think Bethesda Gear Store will start shipping out in November, which is my promise.
Yeah. Yay!
The rest, if you didn't order in the first wave, if you ordered and you missed the first wave, and there are retailers quoting like April and May, no, those ones are coming by boat. They will be around in January, February, that sort of time. I think everyone wanted to be safe and didn't want to let people down, but they are coming as quickly as we can make them.
Will they be available at like GameStops or Targets or something?
This is a very interesting question. People always ask us about our products. We would love to sell them in as many shops as possible, obviously, to give customers the biggest chance. We are totally beholden on those retailers asking us to sell them to them. So at the moment it's the Gear Store, it's IGN, in the UK it's Game. We will be selling them on Amazon. So there is a range of a few places. If you go to the wandcompany.com, you can see the manual there, their operating manual. You can see where you can buy it, they're listed out, and you can see all the functions and photographs and things like that. Also, you can communicate with us. We love it when fans write to us, support@theonecompany.com. We've got a great person, Charlotte, who looks after everybody. And if you get it, we are there 100% to support you. 100%. You will have a beautiful experience. Anyone else? Right, yes.
Would you be able to, like, let's say, add like something to your inventory? Like, I don't know, say I pick up my keyboard, would I be able to, like, say I have my keyboard?
Yes, I'm very much hoping in the future, not right now, but those are sort of upgrades that we would like to do, and you can really put your own text on it and you can personalize it. And maybe we could even do little community for app writing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the future. Sorry. Well,
what are sort of the technical specifications of it? What sort of panels are
Number 7.
Okay.
You need Richard.
In a deep dive there. So the display is only showing monochrome. It's being designed. It's an RGB display anyway, but it's only showing monochrome. The software's been written for that. It's 240 by 380. Something of that. 340 by 2. I don't know. It's around that sort of size, which is enough for what it is. It runs an SD chip. It's using Esperino as the OS and JavaScript. So it's pretty robust. It's got a reset button. Actually, it's buried deep inside, which you can press with a very long paper clip. But basically, as I said, it's unbrickable product that won't leave you high and dry with something that doesn't work. It will work. You can even change the battery, which is a good thing, but you won't need to. It's a polymer lithium battery. You won't need to for years. It lasts. It turned off. It'll last about 6 months between charges. So anyway, right.
Piggybacking on the previous question, so will the software inside be updatable in the future if there's ever like...
Yes. There will be. For example, I'll just show you something really nice little thing. I was sitting there on my desk, and it's got a timeout. You can set the timeout after 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes.
Number 7.
I'd set the timeout for 5 minutes, and it made a little buzz. And I looked around and it said going to sleep mode. It was from one of the shows, one of the episodes, and it just faded off. And I got on the phone to my business partner and said, look, when it faded off, it felt to me when it made that buzz that it should collapse down like a CRT used to collapse down in the old days, I mean a long time ago, when I was small. And so there was a bit of work for a couple of days, and now if you turn it off, you'll see it does a proper thing where it shuts down, which is really nice. It has 2 shutdown modes. One is quick shutdown like that, where you don't want to be having a long shutdown each time. If you press the button and hold it, the power button, for 4 seconds, it should shut down in a more complete way. There you go. And then when you boot it up, you press it for a long press. The idea of that is you can put it in your bag and it won't press it accidentally. And then it does the whole boot sequence. You wouldn't want to do that every time you turn it on, but you can have that if you want. Right.
Did
did you cast the blank for the die cast from the hero prop, or did you have to 3D print it to make the mold?
So, good question. The hero prop is made from a CAD file, which is 3D. We had that CAD file. We remodeled it because actually the way the 3D print was made, it was made 3D printing. They can do things that you can't really do. Obviously, inside here, there's a whole bunch of fixings for PCBs and all the buttons and everything, all really robust. The model, they're all just stuck on with glue. So yeah, if you look at that, in the future I might publish some photographs of, well, when people get them they can take them apart if they want. But I might publish some photographs of the castings. The castings are really beautiful piece of work. When you see the tooling, the tool that makes the back is like a 250-ton tool made with such precision that when it shuts, you can't squirt water out of it. It's watertight, and they squirt hot plastic into it. That's how they make the tools. And the die-cast one's the same. Awesome. So, hang on, over here, yes.
Can they change the display color?
That's a good question. Can you change the display color, was that question? And no, right now not. And I wondered about that. I wondered if it's just like a filter over the top. The way it's been written in the software, because the one in the game, the one in the show is green, would not make any sense. If you look at the One Company, and you can go look at our website, our idea is to make things really accurate as possible. In the show, it's green, so it never had the thing to change. If in season 2 they do one with the one that changes colour, we will rewrite the software and we'll try and do it. It will support colour, so we could do that. It's just not a simple flicking of a switch, it is like rewriting the software. Right.
Could you tell us more about the Lucy backpack competition?
I could. The Lucy backpack competition, right. So very quickly, I have got a Lucy backpack. I didn't bring it because it's in the car. It is a very accurate replica. We made it from, they sent us the original plans of the Lucy backpack and the material swatches. It is the exact facsimile of it, except that their one didn't have an inside. Our one has an inside with silk in it, silken, like I think nylon, with the Vault-Tec logo printed on it, the Vault logo printed on it. All the fabric tags have Vault-Tec on them. It's beautifully made. It's a lovely piece. 2 weeks ago, I went to Comic-Con MCM in London, and I met Lucy Pinnell, and I got her to sign it. It is original, it is signed, and if you have it now today, you'll have it before anyone else gets those. The only thing I can say is her signature is nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
It just says Ella P, I think a heart or something. And I got home and in about 1 minute I could copy it quite easily. So I'm just telling you.
So the Reds win more.
Lucy touched it, and that's all I can say. And it's lovely. So, and the bag's gorgeous anyway. Right, there's over here. I mean, there's so many. Great. Normally no one says anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have the older school, like special edition Pip-boys with the bones like it. Would you guys be making an app that would be providing similar features to this Pip-boy for the old school?
The answer to that is very simply no, but there were other people that will. And we would hopefully be, yes, you can see James over here. He is a very, very talented app writer. He's been doing his own in spare time, and he will do stuff to make those ones look like this one. Yes, and we will be supplying him all the files he needs to do that.
Wow, that's cool.
So, right, there's someone over here. No, yes.
Get it, Jay!
Here we go.
Can you play any holotape games on there?
You cannot play any holotape games on there yet. You may be able to in the future at some point. It's in the show. 100% it's in the show. You want it or you don't
There's
want it?
a reason why there's
You want it,
updates.
yeah? Don't worry. Just hang fire. When you get your Pip-boys, if you buy one, there'll be a QR code on the front, which is a bit crazy because you can only upgrade via a computer, right? So we put the QR code there, you'll get it on your phone. If you do that, it will send you an email. Now, I just want to say one thing to everyone here. We have a database of people who want to register with us. We do not ever spam anyone. If we give you information, it's beneficial to you. It'll be once in a while and it'll be lovely things. And they always come with something special. We've done that with the tricorder. I've done 24 blogs over about 2 years. So we will take good care of your details. That was the thing. You will also then get emails about our upgrades. And the upgrades will be good, and we'll give you, each time we do an upgrade, it'll have it'll have some, maybe there's bugs, they'll have bug fixes, but it'll also have some extra functionality for everybody. Right, yes.
Is there any possible way that...
Thank you, by the way. Glad you have that product.
Yeah.
There's a year of my life in that product. Anyway, carry on.
Is there any way that maybe Netflix will make a...
21, 32, 34,
Yes, what you mean? Well, also...
and 36.
So what would be really nice, and I asked Kilter to do it, is if they would do a different Pip-boy for season 2, maybe the New Vegas, you know, the Pip-boy 2000 or Pip-boy, yeah, those ones.
Pip-boy, yeah.
From Fallout, yes, that sort of thing. I have written a presentation to them, showing them that, and saying, please can you do a design of this for season 2, because I would love to make it. If they do it, whatever they do, we will be there. They love what we've done. By the way, you know, guys, Fallout is a really big thing. Obviously, you know that. The show was Amazon's second biggest thing they ever did, at 100 million views. Okay, and this is the biggest, the most successful piece of merch that they've done. So yeah, we have a lot of ground to cover between now and the next season. So anyway, yes. Okay. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Good feedback. I'll be looking into that later. The other thing is, if you ever send us any comments, we are a small team, but we're really responsive. We really act on things. When you talk to us, it's my company, for example. You are talking to the people that actually do the work. So it's not like some faceless organisation where you're talking to people you don't know who they are. We will respond and we will try and take on board those comments. I have to say, if you want a long chat with loads of different emails and chatting, I might not be able to do that because we have thousands of people that write to us. But certainly, if there are things like that you say, I would prefer to know about them and do something about it, okay? And we've had, you know what the weirdest bit is? It's an Amazon product. In Amazon, the disconnect between the different parts of the organisation as such is so huge that they are like, the people that we deal with are like strangers to the other guys. When we said we want to get it on Amazon, it's like really difficult, so I'll look into that straight away. But if you go to Bethesda Gear Store, yes, that's good, and IGN also, and as I said, in the UK Game, although weirdly with Game, I wouldn't go there yet because they sold out their pre-allocation, and as a result of that, for some weird reason, they just took it off their website, so it scared everybody. They are still shipping all their products to people that ordered it. It's just their website has some random thing that when they run out of their allocation, they have to take it offline. I have talked to them about it multiple times, but so in the US anyway, it's IGN and Bethesda Gear Store. Right, anyone else? Right, here we go. Well, in a minute, but yes.
Do you think that season 2 will be using any of yours?
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Do we think that season 2 would be using any of our Pip-boys? Well, no, at the moment not yet because they haven't asked us, but I would love it if they did. I mean, can you imagine? It would be so cool, screen use. I did put this idea forward, right? How mad is this? We said we will make you the Pip-boys to use in season 2. You keep a log of the serial numbers. When each one has a serial number on the chip, we then get them all together at the end of the season and we auction them off for charity. Yes. And then everyone will have a chance of having a screen use Pip-boy and charities will benefit. So anyway, you know these kind of ideas normally just fall on deaf ears and no one gives a crap. They just say, yeah, we'll make them like we did before. I'm not being negative about it, I'm just saying sometimes big organisations find it really difficult to do crazy ideas like that. So I hope they would, but they may not. And they probably aren't because we haven't got them ready yet. Right, yes. So in the show, does the Pip-boy have a flashlight, was that question. In the show, they walk into that kind of darkened area, the other vault, and they turn on the flashlight, which looks like, it looks like a mag light that they've got stuck on the side of their Pip-boy, and I think that's movie magic. The flashlight that this does have is this one.
Screen one.
Is that right? Yeah, it lights up. I guess if you're in a very dark room and you're looking for your keys under the bed or something like that, that would help. But in any other circumstances, the glare of the sun would definitely shine. So that is the flashlight it has. Right, okay, yes.
Is it going to be compatible with Fallout 4?
We'll run Fallout 4.
Is it going to be compatible with Fallout 4? I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't have anything you can take out of it. It doesn't have any of the graphics.
Actually, so if you're playing it on your computer, I checked it out last night. that will scroll up, scrolls down, side to side for the computer version.
Oh,
It will
really?
do minimal, so you can do this with
Okay,
that.
so yeah, I guess the answer is yes, it can control your computer to some degree.
On a
I
PC.
guess some people might be using it to do a PowerPoint presentation or do something funky with it, at school if they're teachers or whatever. Because you can go up and down, you've got the cursor controls. You've only got a limited interface here. If you think of the UI of this, you can turn this, you can't do anything with. The roller wheel you can roll, which is quite cool. You've got
21,
here you go. It's doing something. You can turn this, but you are limited to what you can do with the buttons. I don't know what time it is, but I think I might be running out of time here.
35 minutes so far.
35. Got a few more minutes of questions if you want.
No more minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Wow. Here we go. Right, you guys. Here we go. Amber. I know you. I recognise Amber over there. It's Amber over there. Okay, so how will fans upgrade it when upgrades come? Great question, because I know that's been a big worry, upgrading, and also a big everyone wanting upgrades. This unplugs, and this plugs into USB-C. You need a computer, and you need one that has web serial, which is Chrome, Opera, or one other.
James.
What?
Yeah,
James? I think it's
not Firefox.
Not
it was
Firefox, basically. So, if you have a computer with
Edge.
Edge. So anyway, you've got Chrome. Sorry about that. You plug it in. Immediately a window comes up. It's really nicely designed. It's just a very, very minimal thing. If you've already upgraded, it will tell you that your one is fully up to date. If you haven't upgraded or you're out of date, it'll tell you that you need an upgrade. You can click on a button. So the first upgrade you do will take about 3 or 4 minutes because you're uploading that song. And that song that I played you, there's a male and female version of it. We maybe play out with that in a second, the female version of it, which is quite cool. We hope, by the way, to work with the Gear Store and Bethesda to release a single of that and the B-side with it. And that'll be a collectible with art and stuff with it and everything like that. Anyway, yes, hello! Nice to meet you again.
Will you make different colors for the Pip-boy?
Right, that's a very good question. Will we make different colours for the Pip-boy? In the show, there are 2 basic colours. The main one, which is silver, and then you very occasionally see the Overseer's one, which is a kind of goldy bronze colour. Now, I would like to do that. We're holding back until we see what they're doing in season 2, but you can, depending on what happens in season 2, a gold one is definitely on the way in the future at some point, maybe a year away. But we will only make ones that appear in the show. So I would love to do a new Coca-Cola version, for example, if they have it in the show. If they don't have it in the show, I won't be doing that because it's not in the show. This is your spokesman. Everyone else, think of questions quickly. Right, yeah. Okay, can you add Bluetooth to it? So, I think no is a short answer to that. Bluetooth is a really, really gnarly thing. Our company made the Starfield watch, by the way. Woo! And it nearly killed my business partner. He said about 3 years before, how hard can Bluetooth be? How hard can doing a watch? It has to work with Android and Apple. It has to be purposely upgraded. And we had trouble because Bethesda didn't want us to take control of the upgrading process. They wanted to control it. We wanted to support the product. They wanted to stop when we launched. So that caused a lot of problems. And Bluetooth is really difficult. Android and Apple are constantly upgrading them. And to keep up with it is a full-time job for a department, not one guy doing it. So I think Bluetooth, no. But in terms of putting your own files on there, in the future we hope to upgrade it in such a way that there'll be maybe a file player that you can put audio tracks on there. It's got quite a small memory, so it won't be like an iPhone or anything. It'll just have a few tracks you want to put on. But well, you could take it apart, I suppose, and do stuff with it. I'm sure fans will find out how it works and do what they can. But obviously, being pragmatic and trying to make a product that works for everybody and does everything in the show, and is affordable. This is a $200 product. And here's the thing, when you buy a phone and you spend between $50 and $1,000 on a smartphone, it's so advanced and so amazing. But it's had hundreds or thousands of people working on it, thousands of hours of development, often specially made components, and they make millions of units, I mean tens of millions of units. And there's a massive benefit in that. These are made in their thousands, and it's impossible to make something like this that's as accomplished as a smartphone. So it is what it is. It's good fit for purpose, and it's a prop replica that you can have a lot of fun with. But if you want something like a smartphone, buy a smartphone. That's my thinking. Right. Yeah, we could do that. So that was it's got an SD card in the memory. Could we make a bigger one? Yes, is the answer to that. We've got one that's a certain size. I'm sure in the future fans can take it apart and upgrade that. It uses FAT16, not FAT32, so that would be an issue that you have to make sure that was okay. But yes, there's lots of possibilities. I'm sure fans will get their hands on it, and we'll find out all about it and do loads of fun things with it. Right, okay, this is a good question. Yes, okay, I don't know how to formulate my wording for that. I always believe in inclusion. I would like, my son is left-handed, and I would like a left-handed one. That is a very, very expensive proposition, unfortunately, because it's about 200 grams worth of tooling, and basically it takes quite a while to get that money back when you sell products. A guy wrote to us and said, I love your, we've been making a tricorder, and he said, I love your other stuff, I'm blind, and what can you do to read out the stuff so that I can actually use it? Because I like to memorize the button presses. So I would like to make one for a blind guy. The trouble is when you're making a small number of products that the bandwidth that you have to actually make the product is difficult in the first place. And you feel really grateful that you just got a product out. So making variants and versions for it for other people is very difficult. So and that is the truth, honest question. I would love to make one for everybody, but it's not probably going to be possible. Also in the show, it is that way round. And in fact, weirdly, even the early designs of the Pip-boy had the buttons all on the wrong side anyway. They're probably better for left-handed people because the buttons were all on this side. You had to go right over the face. Yeah, mental. So anyway, probably not. Right, any others? Yes? No, but that is it. Can we switch the display from Vault Boy to Vault Girl? The answer is no, but I would like to include new animations in the future for future upgrades. So please write to me on support@theonecompany.com with suggestions like that for things that we can do and add to the product in the future. Yes?
As someone from the UK, I just got to ask, what's your opinion on Fallout London?
Yeah. So, as someone from the UK, what's my opinion on Fallout London? I've been very busy doing this over the last few months, and I have no idea about it. But London is a great city, so bombed or not bombed, or with the Big Ben still standing or half tumbled down, there's loads of great things to do in London. It's really safe. There aren't any guns there. Unfortunately, well, maybe one or two. Yeah, a lovely place. So it make a great setting. And in the UK and probably in the rest of the world, and I want everyone to be positive, Fallout fans and fans of cosplay generally are so positive. There's a lot of doom and gloom in the world. There's a lot of really horrible things going on. And you hear about England being a shitty place when you live there, I have to say. But when you see film of it from like in shows and things, it looks so great, and I think our countries are really great and we live in them and we make them great. So if it's got London in it and it's been done okay, then it would probably be good, but I haven't seen it. Okay, I will try to. Right, sorry, one more.
Okay. It's all on you now.
Make it good. Chris, make it good.
Don't mess up.
Make it good. Whoa. Hey, come on. Hang on.
Can you sell me that one?
Yeah.
No. This is my one.
Yeah.
All right, one more. Guys, good.
How do we enter digital releases back? How?
Oh, right. How do we enter the Right, we're just asking somebody. Some awesome music is about to be played.
Yeah.
I can't wait to but we're asking someone about the backpack. The question was, how do you enter for the backpack, for Lucy's backpack? I know it's a raffle for charity. I hear that there's a motorbike as the prize. If you like motorbikes and you've got a motorbike license, that would be the great thing to win. I mean, wow, I have a motorbike, I love them. But if you don't have a motorbike and you don't have a motorbike license and you can't ride one, then I guess the backpack would be better. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
Unless you want to sell a motorbike, of course. Right, I think I'm gonna stop now whilst I'm ahead and let these incredible musicians behind me do their bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy your Pip-boys, enjoy Fallout.
Woo!
Thank you.